Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering video on the Moopa Troopa channel. I am Max Rappaport, and today I am dipping my toes into a brand new modern format full of unbans to familiarize myself with the meta and the format. Standard has been a little stale for me in the past weeks, but don't worry, I have a full blue-black midrange deck guide and sideboard guide and matchup chart coming out soon. Gonna be a crazy video, a lot more intense editing involved with that, so it may take me a little bit, but in the meantime, I want to get some other videos out there. So I've got some new equipment coming out of the holiday break, and while I'm away from school, I'd like to try and release a video at least once a day. So yeah, gonna play some Modern today. I'm going to be testing an Izzet Through the Breach. This is kind of my take on the deck, but I love Through the Breach decks, and I think Brain Surge is a very interesting card right now. So keep your eyes peeled for how the deck plays, and I hope you enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It always makes my day whenever I see a new person interacting with the videos. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Jumping right into this deck, we have a crazy Through the Breach slash Yggdrasil Rebirth Engine from the Assassin's Creed set list going on here. I've got my top end targets, Ulamog and Emrakul. Of course, you do need something exiled, but with Devour of Destiny, Yggdrasil, and Ugin's Labyrinth, that's not too hard. Of course, you have 4 Kozilek's Command, the best Eldrazi card that they really printed, Null Drifter as card draw, some Brain Surges as card draw, and 1 Palantir. I'm kind of just trying out all the card draw, see which I like the most. 1 All Is Dust, and 3 Kozilek's Return to keep the little creatures off the board. There's a lot of 0 mana cards, so Chalice of the Void going to be pretty good here. And then we got 1 Blast Zone, 1 Boseiju, of course 4 Eldrazi Temples, some blue and red lands here in the middle, and 4 Ugin's Labyrinth. Moving on to the sideboard, 3 Consigns for some artifact decks, as well as the Eldrazi Mirrors. Thought-Knot Seer when you need a little bit of hand attack against combos, or maybe a more controlling deck where you don't need the removal as much. 3 Mystical Disputes for counterspell decks, 2 Soul Guide Lanterns for graveyard decks, 3 Meltdowns for artifact decks, and 1 more Chalice of the Void for artifact decks, as well as Storm. So let's just jump right into the matches with this deck. I'm very eager to try it out. Here for game 1 on the draw with a very good hand. So let's just go ahead and keep it. I will perform an opening hand action of this Devourer of Destiny to, on my upkeep, look at the top 4, hopefully find a Through the Breach or possibly a Yggdrasil. Start getting some big guys into play and kind of just annihilating my opponent. Don't find any of those, but do I want a Kozilek's Command? Honestly, I'm thinking I don't, and my reasoning is it feels like they're oops all spells, and so I just need to be as fast as possible, and that's really not going to help. So let's just say, no, I don't want any of these. Try and dig a little deeper for a Through the Breach, and start off with an Eldrazi Temple. I guess it would have been better to play the Uglin's Labyrinth first. Don't really need 3 Emrakuls in my hand, and if I draw another one, then I could go turn 3 Through the Breach. There's a Gemstone Mine. Okay, so I have no clue what I am up against. Summoner's Pact for an Alice. Okay, so I'm just dead on turn 2. Awesome. This is Neo Brand, which didn't really get anything from the unban. They pitch those 2, and then they Neoform this one to get a Grizzlebrand. Draw 7. This is kind of what this deck does. What do I even... I don't think I really have anything in the board for them. What is their win con? Summoner's Pact for another autochton... I don't know how to say that. Autochthon Worm, gaining a lot more life, and I guess drawing their whole deck, and then we'll see what their win condition is once they do that. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything here. Draw 7 more. And Mox Amber, black, or Mox Amber, black, mana added, okay. Ah, right, Soren. Okay. Then go to post-combat main phase and kill me. Okay. Yeah, that works. So, going into the sideboard, I really don't have a lot prepared for this matchup. I guess I want the chalices to get around the Summoner's Pact. Countering that can be nice. Mystical Dispute could be good. It counters the Neoform. So maybe that, and maybe some Thought-Knot Seers over... I think the Thought-Knot Seers are just a little bit too slow. Okay, so let's try this and see if we can get a little bit lucky and not die on turn 2 in the next game. So I do have Chalice for 0, and then I have Yggdrasil, which hopefully can get me where I need to be by turn 4, I presume. If I can find something good to reach into play with it, or put into play with it, giving haste. Looks like my opponent is mulliganing to 5, Chancellor of the Tangle in the revealed card zone, so possibly going for a turn 1 kill. Let's just Chalice on 0, and hope that that does something. It may not. Maybe they just had the cards they needed, and they can turn 1 kill me. Maybe not. We'll see. They add 1 green to their mana pool. Hopefully don't just have the Allosaurus Rider, just a Preordain. Okay. That is fine with me. Where do they put the cards? One top. One top is a little bit scary because anything they could put on top, probably getting them a little bit closer to killing me. I find a Boseiju. Really don't want that. A big guy would be nice, as would some more interaction. That's not the worst, also not great. Let's play out the Talisman and pass the turn. Hoping to Yggdrasil next turn, and then hopefully find something on the first 3 cards with it. Opponent is playing a tap land, so presumably don't have anything. Maybe this Chalice is doing some amount of work, and I just don't see it. Only have 1 Surveil land, so there's no point in Scalding Turning here other than to thin my deck, which I think is still the right thing to do. Technically, more likely to hit cards that I want if I fetch. So, opponent may be thinking about countering that. They probably have Consigns. Let's play that. And next turn, if I top deck a big guy, that will allow me to Through the Breach, or if I find something in the top 3 with Yggdrasil, opponent is doing nothing. So, mill, 3, find Devourer of Destiny, Mystical Dispute, and Through the Breach. Oh, should have fetched first. That is my bad. Get just a second island, I think. Untap. Draw, find an Ulamog the Defiler, which is pretty good here. Let's just Steam Vents and cast a Through the Breach, hoping to put this into play, and attack for 14, and be able to kill them with the Yggdrasil next turn. So cool. Right, that worked for that game. And I think I just want to run it back. Some Force of Negations would be nice. I want to find a way to integrate Force of Negation into this deck, but it seems hard. I guess I could cut the Null Drifter plan, and maybe a couple Chalices and some fetches for Lorien Revealed is the best way I can think of to do it, because Force of Negation is just real good right now, especially if you're tapping out for like a Yggdrasil or something of the sort. It's good to have just 0 mana interaction. Alright, this is pretty good. We have all the interaction we may want, so I think we keep it and just hope not to get turn 1 killed by our opponent. Let's see. They mulligan to 6. I'm going to keep mine. Do need to find a way to win, but I think we can worry about that later. They're mulliganing to 5, which honestly makes sense for the type of deck they are. They really need a couple cards exactly. They do keep once they get there. And play a tap land. So I'm wondering if it's going to be better to Chalice on 1 or Chalice on 0. And I think so I'm going to exile the Emrakul, because once you have an Emrakul in exile, Ulamog just becomes the better Through the Breach target. I think I'm going to play this Talisman, and then Chalice for 0 to get around Summoner's Pact. If they do have like an Allosaurus Rider in Neoform, I can just counter it with this Mystical Dispute. So sideboarding looking good here, but I'm not super familiar with this matchup. There's going to be a lot of that in this video. I'm not the biggest Modern player. Opponent has been doing a lot of nothing, really. Destroying target artifact or enchantment. Guess I'll float a blue, but sure. Okay. Not going after the Chalice. So, probably no Pact in there. I think I want to play it slow. Just no reason to rush into this Kozilek's command. I'm not even able to... I guess I could, if I found Through the Breach, do it that next turn. But I'd rather be able to counter an Eldritch Evolution by playing out this Scalding Tarn. Let's fetch. And I think just get a Surveil land here. Again, I can just keep playing it slow. They have 4 cards in hand, but they kind of have to expend everything to win. Don't want an Uggin's Labyrinth, so let's get rid of that one. Draw another Ulamog. Not the best draw, but I do have this Kozilek's command to scry 3 and draw a card to hopefully get me where I need to go. Maybe the second Uggin's Labyrinth would have been good. It is a very strong card. Okay, so opponent finds a 3rd land, but doesn't seem like they want to go for anything here. I will choose these 2, target myself with both, and... God, I haven't played with this card in a minute. I was playing some of the green-red Breach before the bans. Let's... maybe just bottom, top, and go for just a bigger one next turn? Giant one? Yeah. Let's do that. And then I could just cast an Ulamog. See what my opponent goes for here. They're just passing again. So let's 1, 2, 3. Just go for this Kozilek's command, giving myself both of these effects, and scrying 6 now. Hopefully able to find something this time. Oh, 7. Let's see if this resolves. Hopefully not getting consigned. Not getting consigned. We find Null Drifter, Temple, Through the Breach, Yggdrasil. So let's get rid of these lands. And do I want the Yggdrasil? I think I do want that. Let's keep both of these ones. And just go for this. Okay. Put a 22 with Annihilator 15 into play. See if it's good enough. Maybe my opponent has consigned. No, if they had consigned, they would have cast it a while ago. Yeah, that is Neo form for you. Just kind of either wins on turn 1 or does nothing. But they did nothing more times than they won on turn 1, so I was able to pull out the match win. Let's get into the next one. Match number 2 against the Magister. Let's get right into it on the play this time. Hopefully not losing on turn 1. A little bit of lag there, but we work through it. Yeah, this hand looks pretty good. So I will start off with a Thundering Falls and see what we can get. Let's put an Ulamog into the graveyard. I already have something to put into play if I draw Through the Breach. Although this is good, because now if I find a Yggdrasil, I can just get rid of this right away. I can just exile it right away and put it into play the next turn. Kind of interested in making some other sort of like Goryo's deck that just uses Yggdrasil as more Goryos. Could also run Through the Breach in that deck, but starting out with this, which seems just like an easier deck to build against an Elegant Parlor, I'm just going to Null Drift here to draw 2 cards. Nice little 2 mana, draw 2. Find a Talisman, which ain't the worst, and another Through the Breach, and get rid of this Null Drifter. Null Drifter also seems pretty nice with Yggdrasil, because you evoke it and then can reanimate it. Which, yeah, that card seems to have given this deck a lot more play. Opponent is on Naya, not a Indomitable Creativity deck, because they have not just mountains, and they go ahead and Green Suns for 1. So, that's fine with me. I guess I'll just go ahead and Talisman and set up for a Through the Breach next turn. We'll see what they do. Maybe play an Omnath, which I'm fine with. I would get rid of all their permanents. Or if they play some more little things, I guess I could wait a turn and try and Kozilek's return everything away. But it's looking pretty good for me right now. Legendary. Yeah, this looks like Omnath. Okay, sure. Draw a card. Do you have Force of Negations in your deck? So far, not a lot of blue cards, so I would imagine not, but you never know. Let's play this Blast Zone and just slam a Through the Breach. Okay. Protection from spells. I guess they could Solitude this. And yeah, they're probably going to end up doing that. Can't be countered. Protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. But not permanents. This is an Eldrazi creature spell. Okay, there's the Solitude. I'll gain 15, and I'll try again next turn. See what my opponent does here. I do have another Through the Breach, which is pretty nice. We'll see if they have another Solitude. I guess Leyline Binding also hits it, which is a bit annoying. They just have 1 land here, so not going to get to add the 4 mana from Omnath unless they cheat one into play somehow. Not sure exactly what this list is running, but that's another reason I'm making this video, is just to familiarize myself with the overall format a little more. Blue, Legendary. Are they playing another Omnath? No. Teferi, Time Raveler. Sure. Bouncing my Talisman, also fine with that one. This does not hit Planeswalkers, which is a little bit annoying, but not the worst. Can I find an untapped land? I cannot, but that is not a bad draw. Pretty good one, because I can go ahead and Talisman, follow it up with a Yggdrasil, and that'll get rid of this Ulamog, allow me to put the Ulamog into play next turn. Which is going to be pretty nice. And I believe it sees itself when it enters, so it will have 10 +1/+1 counters on it instead of just 7. It would from the Null Drifter. I guess not super relevant now, but in later games it might be. Sacrifice any two permanents. Okay, I don't know why I thought that one was non-token. Okay, so opponent has a lot of mana and a lot of life. I have a lot of life. But I don't know how much relevant interaction they have for this Yggdrasil here. And I don't care too much about them. Once they, like, get a really good card draw engine going, that would be scary, but, I mean, the ring is gone, which I'm very happy about. It would be good in this deck that I'm playing here, but overall, just, the ring is such an annoying card. Alright, so opponent is fetching. Possibly a Surveil land. Nope, just basic plains. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana added. 5. We'll see what they're going for here. That's 6 mana tapped. Or, I guess, a Green Suns for 5. Getting... they play Titania. Wrath of the Skies for 4 energy. I guess I'll exile the top 3 cards in my library. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I'll do it. Okay. How much energy are you paying? Do they think this costs 4? Costs 3. They're only paying... Oh. Oh, right, it doesn't hit Planeswalkers. Very unfortunate for me. And even more unfortunate is the fact that I do not have Through the Breach mana for this next turn. I do have mana to Kozilek's Command, killing a thing, and killing the Risen Reef, and either making a bunch of guys or drawing some cards. I think I just want to draw the cards, because this can... No, that doesn't wipe my board, but it does do some stuff. But I want to get lands in the long run. So I'll draw the cards. I'd like to keep my lands around, instead of just having one-use wonders. Okay. So, do I want an All is Dust? I'm 1 mana off. I think I don't want that. And I do want these 2. Now let's do that and pass the turn. I'm 1 mana off of that now. Let's see what my opponent has. They're upticking the Teferi, sure. Through the Breaching and Emrakul gets rid of 6 permanents, which doesn't win the game on the spot, but is pretty good. See if they have another Solitude. Of course, that would buy me even more time. They play a tapped land, gain 4 life. Guess I'd be attacking Teferi. And they're tapping more mana. I guess this is Green Suns for... Oh, no, another Omnath, sure. Fine with that one. So they're digging. And presumably playing Leyline Binding in this deck. See what I find. Go for a Through the Breach. Emrakul. Attack. Nope. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. That gets us this turn, but I just need one more land, and then I can All Is Dust and get an Emrakul into play, which seems pretty good. So very glad I kept this All Is Dust. Also, the one of All Is Dust in the deck, working out for me so far. See what they have. A Wrenn and 6 is fine, I guess. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything. It's gonna die to this All Is Dust. They gain 4 more life, plus their Teferi again. I take 4 damage, go to 15. Do have some time. And find another Yggdrasil. Not the best draw. Not the worst, though. Pose. Gonna get just bounced by that Teferi. I really need to find just one untapped land. Any land works. They're gaining even more life. Probably a Surveil land now, if they play another one. Yeah, it is. Sure. But as soon as this All Is Dust resolves, I just kind of win the game, so still not too concerned, but it's definitely possible for me to lose here. Opponent pluses on the Windswept Heath, sure. Bounces my Yggdrasil. Sure, also. Plays a Nissa, Resurgent Animist. Okay, so now they're going to get to start tutoring up elementals. This means I have to find that untapped land, probably this turn. Okay, they got a Dryad Arbor with their fetch land. Okay, more triggers, more triggers. This is only the second time, though. They need more elementals, and I really just need this All Is Dust to come down and kill them. I'm taking 4. Is it? If it's the third time, so only the third time. So this is dealing me like 8 damage a turn, which is still pretty darn good. Alright, taking 4. So yeah, it's this turn or bust. Need to find a land untapped for the All Is Dust. Let's see it. Brain Surge. And that's not gonna help. I don't think. I guess let's see if we can do anything with it. I can... Yeah, nope, nothing. Okay, a little bit annoying, but what you gonna do? So what is the stuff they had that's actually annoying against me? It's that removal. I can counter the removal with Consigns. I don't really want Kozilek's Return. Don't really want Chalice of the Void. And I kind of want Thought-Knot Seers as just like an alternate win condition. Let's board out the third Chalice. One more Thought-Knot Seer. Do I want Mystical Dispute? I probably want a couple Mystical Dispute, and I think I can trim a couple Emrakul. It's just worse, and it dies to all the removal, and maybe just 2 Consigns. Yeah, let's do that. Some quick sideboarding. It looked pretty good to me, though. This hand also looking pretty nice. I would like to perform some opening hand actions. See what we find with that. I think I want a Through the Breach. Or just an Eldrazi Temple to help me cast these large spells. Maybe I'm just on the Yggdrasil plan. Yeah, let's keep the Eldrazi Temple. Alright, so start off with Ugin's Labyrinth, exiling all his dust, playing a Talisman, and passing. Opponent plays Windswept Heath and passes back. So now let's just go ahead and play Yggdrasil. See what we can or can't get done. Maybe opponent's consigning it here. Maybe I want no consigns. Maybe I guess if they're going to board that in, I just want the Mystical Disputes. Pretty much everybody boards it in against me, huh? Yep, Breeding Pool, untapped. Into. Oh, can we see it? There's the consign. Okay. So first threat neutralized by my opponent, but I have a Brain Surge to draw some cards and maybe get rid of some ones I don't want. And also a Palantir. I guess I can play both of these. Let's just start with Palantir. See if they go ahead and try and consign me again. They do not. So let's do that. I can. Let's do this. I can Brain Surge, put them back on top with Palantir, and then they really kind of have to mill me, although I think I just want to keep the Through the Breach Ulamog now and try and do that next turn. Bottom, top. We'll see if they attempt to get rid of it. Nope, they let me draw it. Wonderful. I did just want to do that. And we'll see if they tap out. Oh, no, they just pass. So maybe have a negate. God, this Palantir is looking awesome here. Oh, untap. Just these 5. Let's Through the Breach. And this time I have this one, which is much better here. Because if they do want to kill it, they have to target it, and it has ward. So, okay. Like I said, let's bring in the third dispute and just submit. Very interested in playing more Palantir. It seems really good in a deck like this, especially with Brain Surge. I love being able to just Brain Surge big stuff on top if I don't want it, and then mill it with Palantir. I was looking for other ways to kind of abuse Brain Surge, and that seems like a pretty good one. Double Devourer. I think this is a keep. Just because of this Kozilek's command, but we'll see. Opponent leads on a Lush Portico. Right. I think I just want Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe I want Through the Breach. No, I probably want Through the Breach. Do that. And again, pick Through the Breach. Okay. Go ahead and play an Eldrazi Temple. Pass. See what my opponent is up to. Again, on Naya colors, which aren't the best against me. They get back a Flooded Strand. I draw a Yggdrasil. Let's get rid of this. One of these... I guess actually the Emrakul. Probably the best one. And just play this. If I hit something here, I can win. And if they play like a Teferi or something and untap Kozilek's command main phase to try and find the lands to Through the Breach this Ulamog. They're not ramping as much as they did in previous games, which is good for me as well. There's that Flooded Strand. See what they get up to on this next turn. Red and 6 doesn't seem amazing against me. They go for a Steam Vents. And just a Nissa. Oh, wow. Okay, so they're tapping out. So I really, really want to find something with this Yggdrasil. And I do find an Ulamog. So definitely just going to go for that. Oh! Wait, no, I needed untapped land, didn't I? Okay. I can do this. And I want a mystical dispute here. I think so. Let's go both of these on myself. And then next turn I can hopefully Through the Breach with dispute backup. Don't want that one. Do want this one. And pass. Okay. So opponent is going to make a shoot ton of mana here. Almost swearing, but narrowly catching myself. And fetching for another green-white land. Sure. Don't really need to tap this Yggdrasil anymore, because I already have the best thing that I can have underneath it. Multiple ways to get an Ulamog into play this turn. Opponent has already played a land, and I'm hoping to find another untapped one. Although I guess with this I will have enough to do everything I need to do. Is it more likely they can counter this activation, or... Okay. Sure. Yeah, I have enough mana to do whichever I want. Okay. They attack for 3. I think it's better to just draw and go for the Yggdrasil, holding up Mystical Dispute if they somehow have a blue spell. Okay. Guessing they have a Solitude, though, which is pretty annoying. They only really have to sack 1 permanent. No, they're letting me attack. Oh, right. They're going to counter the, they're going to consign the trigger. But I have a dispute for it, so yeah, definitely the right play here. I forgot they could do that, but figured holding up dispute is always better than not. So yeah, let's dispute that and win. So again, the sideboarding seems like it's going well for me. Everything I've done has... Well, the first match was against Neoform, and it seemed like they just kind of got locked out of the game. But, yeah. 2-0. Have not won a game 1, but sideboard's helping me out. Get into game number 3. Match number 3 on the play. Very good for me. Starting off with a good enough hand, I suppose. I'm probably going to wait and try and Chalice on 1 on turn 2 into Palantir or Brain Surge. We'll see where the draws take me, but I do think this hand is good enough for a keep. So let's start off with fetching, or planning to fetch for a Surveil land. Here, maybe finding something to imprint to this Uggin's Labyrinth. Opponent leads on Swamp. into a Thoughtseize. Possible Lantern control spotting. See? What they take. Maybe Chalice. I would assume a Chalice on 1 is going to be pretty good against Swamp Thoughtseize, but you never know. Maybe they're just marking down what I have. Hey, they go ahead and take the Through the Breach. So maybe not Lantern, maybe Coffers or something like that. I think I am going to go ahead and Chalice on 1 regardless. Ulamog. Yeah. Or I can wait another turn and just get this Palantir down. Yeah, that's probably better. And then I can Chalice on 2 if that seems like something good. Do like the Palantir a lot. Wow. Both of these cards are incredible. I think I'd rather have Yggdrasil. So let's do it like that, and if they mill me, they only take 2. They do choose to mill me. They do take 2, though. And they kind of can't. Okay, so it does look like this is just a mono black deck, not Lantern control. Sure. Let's just go ahead and Yggdrasil. Then do this. Brain Surge also seems very good with Yggdrasil. All 3 of these cards kind of work in tandem together. Oh, Palantir. Don't want either of these. We'll put them on the bottom. And they mill a Mole Drifter and a Talisman, taking really a lot of damage. So I don't know if that's the right play from them. I guess they can cast the Null Drifter now. I don't know if that is going to be good enough. I'm going to activate this instead. Let's see what they do here. Profane Tutor. Okay, so Chalice on 0 is looking kind of nice. Now they are a Coffers deck, presumably. Are they attacking? They are attacking, so I guess they don't want this Null Drifter, although that's probably what I would have done had I been them. I already put 2 cards on the bottom, so I do want to activate this before I fetch. There's a lot of good hits left. See what they are. Find a Through the Breach. Find nothing on this one. Let's shuffle now. Get Team Vents, I suppose. Untap. Draw. Find an Eldrazi Temple. So let's start by Brain Surging. Put back 1, 2, play that, play Chalice on 0, and then I'm going to scry away the 2 cards I just put back before letting them choose if they want to let me draw. They probably do. Yeah. So I find another Chalice. I guess I can do on 2, and maybe that's good. Their Profane Tutor ticks down, but I have a Chalice, so that doesn't really do anything anymore. They're also kind of stuck on lands. I'm still a bit surprised they're not just casting the Null Drifter. Whenever you cast this spell, draw 2 cards. And it seems a bit better than a Dothy Voidwalker. Just puts a creature exiled with it into play. Okay. I need to find one of my 6, 7 big creatures remaining. I think I'm playing the full 4 Ulamog. If I'm not, I should be, as it just seems better than Emrakul, honestly, a lot of the time. Could try and build kind of blue-green version of this deck as well, that like, I don't know, just plays more 1 mana ways to get to turn 3, and then make this my main game plan. They're doing the Null Drifter thing now. So, yeah. They get a 4/4 Annihilator one. I'm not super worried about, but the drawing 2 cards is pretty nice for them, although I don't really have anything in hand that they can take away from me. Seems like a pretty good matchup, honestly. They play a Sunken Citadel. Sure. I'm going to go ahead and activate Yggdrasil again, try and find something, and still don't. Oh well. Let's go ahead and play another Chalice on 0, and of course forget that I can't do that. Cool. Palantir activates. I want to bottom, top. They have to let me draw it. I get to Brain Surge it on top, and then put it into play next turn. The Annihilator, I can sacrifice the Chalice of the Void. I really don't need it now that the Profane Tutor is countered, so don't care too much about that. And yeah, it's just Annihilator 1. Okay, they can Field of Ruin me, which is alright here. Make sure I keep up the Uggin's Labyrinth so I can put the Ulamog back into my hand. And they are going for... One Ring is not in this format. Okay, wow. So... what do I need to do? Now I need to find a Through the Breach? Jeez. Is that gonna be possible for me to do? Do I have a way to remove this Karn? Not really. And also just try and find Null Drifters and stuff of the sort. I guess both of these give me as many looks. So, sure. That is quite annoying, though. Okay. Now I can probably sacrifice Yggdrasil, because I don't think I have a good way to kill Karn. In the main deck, at least. Maybe Yggdrasil's come out if they are a Karn deck. See, do I have 7 power creatures? No, I guess that doesn't matter. Opponent is deciding what the best thing to get here is. They choose Oblivion Stone, which, honestly, I'm not that worried about. Okay, Annihilator 1, get rid of Yggdrasil. Sure. I have 2 Through the Breaches left, taking 4 this turn. And let's do a big Kozilek's command. This doesn't hit Planeswalkers, right? No, just creatures. Makes sense. Be a little too good, probably, otherwise. Right? So, target player scries X and makes 4 spawns. Choose myself for both of these. Let's see what we can find. Hoorah. Bottom all except keep the Null Drifter, I suppose. Now I can, not Kozilek's Return, but Brain Surge. To try and find another Through the Breach. Don't find it. I'm going to get rid of these. And I guess an Emrakul can go to the bottom with this Palantir. And I can... I'm 1 mana short of Null Drifter and Kozilek's Return. Kill their Null Drifter, and this doesn't hit Planeswalkers? No, it does not. I don't really want to draw either of the cards that I just lost, so let's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. Do I even want to do that? I think it's better to just dig deeper next turn. Keep these guys around to help me hard cast stuff. Bottom you two. Maybe I can find another Kozilek's command. Another Kozilek's Return. Not quite what I was looking for. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could cast Ulamog next turn, but cannot cast an Emrakul, which is better. Even if I find another Eldrazi Temple, slash the other one. Okay. So let's get a mountain. And I guess they play O-Stone. Make that a creature, sure. Fatal Push 1, sure. Fatal Pushing another. They are indeed. Okay. So I guess now it's right to just double Kozilek's command, or Kozilek's Return, that is. Yeah. Right. Get to start hardcasting some big guys next turn. But not the biggest guys. Medium-sized guys, they're still pretty big. 4/4 is not huge, but it draws me 2 cards as well. Null Drifter is, Talisman is probably the worst draw in my deck. Let's play a Null Drifter. See what we find. Gonna say no to these. No. No. Draw another Emrakul and a Talisman. And just go ahead and pass. Bottom that one, top that one. You want to mill me for 6? See what happens? I thought not. Okay. So, they're gonna kill my Palantir now. Fine. Damnation. Fine. And just pass? No land? Okay. So I want to just keep digging or through the breach. Try X, make a bunch of guys, targeting myself with both. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how much this is for. 6, sure. Do we get there? No. Do not get there. So, do I want just everything on the bottom, or do I want to keep an Uggin's Labyrinth and go for Hardcast Emrakul next turn? Do I even need it? Yeah, just evoke a Null Drifter, Hardcast Emrakul. Bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 15. I guess I don't need them either way. And okay. Good thing I did that, because I found the Through the Breach. Huzzah! Right. Took a while. But that's what I like about this deck, is it has a lot of card draw. Kind of pretty control-y. Which I kind of want to start leaning into a little bit more. But I kind of like, in hindsight, I was kind of just messing around with the numbers. I kind of like where I ended up, even though I wasn't really trying to end up where I am. Like, I like the amount of card draw. I don't want these Kozilek's returns. Don't really want Chalice. I guess I want Dispute as just a 3-mana counterspell. Oh, and I want Consigns, right. Or the Karns. So get rid of you. And get rid of another Chalice. And the All is Dust. And let's rock with that. I am back again and ready to get into game number 2. So on the draw this time, with a pretty slow hand, but not necessarily awful. I do have a lot of card draw, and I think they're pretty slow as well. So let's try it out. Maybe I'm playing this wrong. I'm playing too control-y and not combo-y enough, but it's a very slow matchup, so I think I'm okay with this. Definitely want a Yggdrasil. It is nice that you kind of have two plans of attack with this deck. Also, Brain Surge plus Yggdrasil, just to set up for the turn 5, is pretty sweet. Alright. Again, my hand is pretty slow, which kind of sucks, but what you gonna do? Opponent has a Field of Ruin. Isn't gonna do a ton against me. I guess I'm gonna Brain Surge this turn, because I'd like the ability to hold up a Consign for a Karn. Karn is pretty scary against Yggdrasil. Maybe I should have boarded them out, but alas, they're in for now. Maybe I want the Chalices too, just to play around this Profane Tutor stuff. Right, assuming they got Cabal Coffers. Yep, there it is. So up to 5 mana this turn. Think I kind of have to consign Karn. Guess I want to replicate it once. I'm not doing anything else with my mana. Let's do that. Same target. And I'll just go ahead and play this and hold up a Brain Surge here. I can look for Consign if they go for another Karn, which it looks like they are doing. So let's Brain Surge. And I guess just put away these and then shuffle them. Well, my opponent probably goes for a one that destroys your lance. Liquimetal Coating. Pretty annoying here. No, just an Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Can I beat that? Kind of, maybe. Probably not. I mean, we'll see. Let's see, what do I have that would beat that? Kinda nothing. Wow, okay, Ensnaring Bridge, good against me. What can I do to prevent that from just killing me? I think have a faster hand. Maybe that was a mulligan. Don't love Null Drifter. I do only have 3 Ulamog, which is definitely going to get changed after this. Let's try these and get rid of Null Drifter and I guess maybe Trema Yggdrasil against the Karn deck. But I don't know, if I'm losing to what's it called anyway, then maybe that doesn't matter. I think this is a keep. A lot of lands here. But this deck doesn't necessarily flood out super hard with all the card draw that's in it. And I do want to make it to 5 mana. Also have a Devourer to help my draw quite a bit, hopefully. And a fetch land to find my Surveil land. Just get Through the Breach, I guess. And let's start with a tapped Steam Vents and pass. See if we get Thought Seized here. Nope. Okay. So play a Scalding Tarn. Tapped. Or, not tapped. Hoping to get a Thundering Falls tapped. Is what I meant by that. Opponent has 2 lands and no plays, so pretty slow start against what I'm cooking up over here. Maybe a bunch of Karns in hand. Or just kind of an awkward one. I know that can tend to happen with that deck. I want a second. I think you always want more Kozilek's Command. It's just the best card in my deck. So let's play Eldrazi Temple, pass the turn. Opponent plays Urborg and passes back. Cast this. Make some tokens and scry. God, I love Kozilek's Command. I do feel like I'm playing Control. I have X spells that are removal spells, and then I just kind of win is the thing. Don't want either of those. Okay. Find another Eldrazi Temple. My opponent plays an Orcish Bowmasters. Their thing. Okay, they have an Orcish Bowmasters in play. That's fine. I find another Through the Breach. So I could do that for 3 and try and look for something, but I think it's better to just like, what are they going to do here? Karn me? I don't really care. Okay, there's a Takanuma. I mean, not that I don't care about a Karn, but I have a Consign for this turn. I also have this Devourer to get rid of a Bowmasters should I decide to do that, but I really don't care about the Bowmasters too much. Like, triggers once, that's just not too bad. Alright, 4 mana, 4. Karn. Okay. I will consign it. No need to replicate this time. I do have things I'd like to do with my mana. Opponent attacks. So I guess just do this now. Saves me 1 point of damage. They've already played a land. Yes, and yes. Targeting myself both times. And this one is for 4. Find an Emrakul. So bottom, top, top. Should have done it the other way around, but they don't have anything, I don't think. Slice into Arcane this Through the Breach to kill them instantly. Is maybe not the best play, but it is funny, so I might do it. Okay. Draw. Lag, 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 lag into win. Okay. Lag is over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast Through the Breach on Emrakul. Wing. You sack 6 permanents. I win the match. Deal. Back for match number 4. If you're noticing that I look a little different, or I'm wearing a different shirt, it's because I am. I didn't quite finish the league yesterday, so I'm finishing it up right now. But currently 3-0, so let's get it on the draw here. We have 2 Yggdrasils, and a Devourer, and a Kozilek's Return, a couple Eldrazi Temples. And I think because I have these, I'm going to keep, because it just means I have so many good draws. Like, the commands get a lot better. And I do have the Devourer of Destiny to hopefully find me something. Be alright with a Uggin's Labyrinth as well. Opponent starts off with Thundering Falls, which is... oh. Likely going to be the Mirror, now that I see a Devourer of Destiny. Something similar to that. Let's start off with an Uggin's Labyrinth, putting this Devourer here, and next turn I will go for the Yggdrasil and hopefully find something with it, and the turn after I will hopefully just kill them with whatever that thing I find is. Right, they pass over to me. Let's go with the Temple. Don't really need to get colored mana out yet. Yggdrasil happens. Pass to them. See what they do. Hopefully they're just a turn slower than me. Go for a mountain and possibly their own. Yeah. Their own Yggdrasil. So this is confirmed the mirror. They have a Devourer underneath. I need to hit something good. I do not find anything good to cheat into play here. So I'll just go for a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn, hoping my opponent does not find anything good as well. Because if they do, I'm pretty dead. They find a Null Drifter, which is not the worst thing. It does hit me for Annihilator 1 and deal me 4 damage, but that's all. They're not casting a Through the Breach this turn. So let's surveil first. Find Talisman into the graveyard. 3 with this. Now I find a Null Drifter, which isn't great. Now there's a Through the Breach, but still nothing to get with it. Wow, we have both bricked pretty darn hard. I mean, I could put a Null Drifter into play and hit them for 4, but that doesn't seem like it's a winning line. Seems like I'm taking a turn off of digging deeper. So let's just wait and hope my opponent doesn't find anything now. Very odd game. Right. Their activation. Oh, like they're tapping mana first. I guess they have Kozilek's Command, which I will get to Kozilek's Return, getting rid of all their tokens, but I still do get to draw some cards. And not feeling like I'm in a great position here. They get, what, 5 looks at a Titan? That is if they don't already have one in hand. They can also find it Through the Breach. I don't have any other plays here, so I'll just go for the Kozilek's Return. And they don't find anything there. Let's see where they put their scries. 1 top, 1 bottom, but then they milled it away. So might have another chance. Almost F6 through looking. I have to find one in the top 4 to do it to him this turn. Goodness, what a match. What an interesting, engaging match of Magic. They're casting... Okay. A... Thought-Knot Seer, maybe? Another... Oh, okay. It is a Thought-Knot Seer. So that's fine. I suppose I'm okay with it. I don't really need any of that stuff. Let's see what we can find with Yggdrasil. Still nothing. Wow. These have been some bad hits on all accounts. And I don't have quite enough mana to Devour and Yggdrasil. I guess I can just play this one, or activate this one, and then if I find nothing now, which I do, I'll want to play the other one. Alright, he played a land, I guess. And now I get 3 more looks. And still haven't found one of 8. We'll see if my opponent does. Every turn I'm feeling like there's no way nobody finds one. And yet again, nobody finds one. So, live to play another day. Kind of the most insane series of events. I've gone through over half my deck. Oh, almost over half my deck. 1 off. Looks like they are getting... They're just going for it now. Okay. For the Null Drifter, I assume? Yeah. So they can hit me for 8. I'm okay with it. They will Annihilator 1 me. And... I find an Emrakul. They have exactly 6 permanents in play. Wonderful. Activate this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put an Emrakul into play. Oh, they get to keep it. You get to keep it. I didn't know that. Huh. Okay, they have a Null Drifter, I have an Emrakul. We'll see who wins. Or maybe they have... yeah. Okay, that was a crazy game. Nobody could find anything. We were both struggling to do anything at all. Really don't want all this dust. I did get there in the end. I mean, found the Emrakul before them. Fun one. Graveyard doesn't really matter. I want the consigns. And I don't want Kozilek's return. I don't think Meltdown is great either, though. Let's play 2 Disputes as just like a bad 3-mana counter spell. And 1 return to stop the big Kozilek's command. Right, very slow, dirtily do-nothing hand here. Got a mulligan. Pretty much the same thing, but now I have a Devourer in the hand. So let's see what they did. They start with 7. I suppose I should keep now and send back Emrakul and just look for the Kozilek's command and have a consign up. Yeah, let's do that. Or I guess I could put back Kozilek's command. Or Palantir. Maybe it's just best to put back Palantir. Yeah, let's try that. Because if I don't find exactly Ugin's Labyrinth, then Palantir really isn't that great. Right. What did they exile? Ulamog, Blaststone. Looks like they boarded in a pretty similar manner to me. I will take the Eldrazi Temple. Go for a Scalding Tarn and pass. They go for Yggdrasil, so I will get Steam Vents, and I believe I have to consign that. I don't think there's a world where I choose not to. Okay. That's not the worst draw. Gonna help me turbo out a big Kozilek's command. They have a Null Drifter, sure. I really do not mind that. Gosh, I didn't really read this card. I just assumed it through the breach, but you get to keep the thing, which means kind of a lot. Which one do I want to play? I think I want to play the Ugin's Labyrinth. Pass. See if my opponent has a Through the Breach to kill me. They may just. What it's feeling like. Okay, so I guess I'm doing this for 1 less to try and find one of my mystical disputes. And then counter that. These both have to go away. We don't find it. So, yep. You got a big guy. Which one is it? Okay. I will scoop to that, and we'll go to game 3. Exciting stuff going on here. Oh, can't believe I forgot to board in these Thought-Knot Seers. Crazy of me. Those definitely want to come in here. And I kind of like having a dispute, but I don't know what else would come out. Could be a Brain Surge. Could be a Null Drifter. Maybe a Null Drifter. Right, I will be on the play for this next game, and I think I'm keeping turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer with a Devourer to dig me deeper for some other stuff. Let's see what I can find. I mean, probably just a second Thought-Knot Seer. Play that and pass. Hopefully this is good enough, but it's pretty scary. 4/4 Thoughtseize into 4/4 Thoughtseize into turn 5 6/6. That doesn't really exile anything, but this is really just here to be an Ugin's Labyrinth target. What do they exile? Okay, they exile an Ugin's Labyrinth, which is kind of scary, because that means they probably already have the fast mana. Or some other game plan that doesn't need Ugin's Labyrinth. Looks like they are on the same plan as me. So guess I just take Thought-Knot Seer and pass. They play the Temple. Play a Kozilek's Command, or do they draw another Thought-Knot Seer? Looks like Kozilek's Command. Okay. Sure. They put the cards. One top, one bottom. Okay, I find a Through the Breach, which would be good if I had another big guy. Did I exile one? Let's see what my biggest thing is. Nothing huge. Right. So they find a Mystical Dispute that they kept on top, or possibly another Kozilek's Command. I guess I want to take... Well, it's either the Command or the Yggdrasil. But maybe I just take the Command and hope they don't find anything with the Yggdrasil, because another command is going to be hard to play through. I think let's do that. And get in for 4. Hope they brick for a turn or two. Or I guess they only have one land too, so... They not doing anything? They're doing nothing. Which is okay with me. I can Blast Zone and start charging it up to get rid of the, They find another Kozilek's Command? No way. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Probably would have exiled one of these. Let's see. Oh, wow. That is an incredible find for them. The third K command. They're only doing it for 3. Three to the bottom, okay. So presumably they didn't find anything. Anything good, at least. And through the breaching... An Ulamog, but it's only Annihilator 4. So I'll just get rid of all my lands. And hope these two 4/4s are good enough to get it done. Which, you never know. Maybe they are. They sack Ulamog. Find a Through the Breach. Unhelpful. They have to block at least 1. But they'll still have enough mana to cast a Devourer. But if they do that without finding a land, then I'll have lethal. So they find the land. And they go for Yggdrasil. Oh. 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 Yeah. that's gonna get me, I believe. Alright. Yeah, because now... Yeah. I mean, the third Kozilek's command is... I don't think there's anything better than that. So, 3-1, but only to the mirror. So, maybe a testament to the strength of this deck. Get into the next one. Had a bit of an unfortunate coffee spill, so I am down 3 minutes, but I'm on the play here for the next match. This hand is looking pretty nice. Have a lot of mana, but I have some card draw as well to hopefully find my 2-card combo. So I played the Eldrazi Temple turn 1, because that way I don't have to lock myself into playing the Ugin's Labyrinth on the Null Drifter. It's possible I want to do it on something else. It's possible I just want to draw 2 here with the Null Drifter, but drawing Yggdrasil, Rebirth Engine. God, it's so fun to say. I got the cool promo one too, look at that. Gorgeous. I never played many of the Assassin's Creed games, but I played part of one. It's pretty fun, the mechanics in it are nice. But, right, they go for an Urza's Saga. Level 1, so this is possibly Hammer. Probably not Hammer with a Mishra's Bauble, maybe the Urza deck, or just some other form of affinity. I guess it's good I have this Blast Zone here, but it's not necessarily doing a ton right now. Yeah, it's just affinity. Okay, they're looking at the top card of my deck. I am hoping to find something good here. Let's see. Yeah, that is an Ulamog, so gonna be just a turn 3 kill. You gotta get a little lucky for it, but what can I say? When it comes together well. Right, Annihilator, 15. That's so crazy. Okay, so against the Artifact deck, guessing I want Meltdown. And Chalice of the Void seems pretty good. A little bit worse. All is Dust can come out. Kozilek's Return doesn't seem that bad, especially the flashback part, if I can get that with a Null Drifter. And they have a lot of blue spells. Like the ones I'm worried about countering, honestly, Mystical Dispute might be better than Consign, but I don't necessarily want to cut a ton of my main game plan either. I guess Palantir is probably a little bit slow against them, and they probably board in counter spells. So maybe Devourer isn't great. I mean, just the primary effect of just looking at the top 4 is so good. Maybe I want to cut them anyway, and I can go down 1 Kozilek's Return. Alright, on the draw, this is turn 3 Yggdrasil, which is probably too slow, especially with nothing else really going on. Let's mulligan that. Yikes. Am I going to 5? I think I'm going to 5. These are just kind of dead as of now, and I don't really have a way to get to the 5 mana needed to make them useful. So let's mulligan again. Find, honestly, an alright hand. Let's just keep these things and look for some ramp to just try and through the breach this Ulamog. Hopefully exile something big with the Devourer. And yeah, see what we can find. They're starting off relatively slow with only putting 3 permanents into play. I'll take an Uggin's Labyrinth. Pretty happy with that one. And I'll lead off on a Scalding Tarn, going to fetch Thundering Falls most likely. What did I find to exile? Nothing in exile for Ulamog, but I will get to do at least 7 with this Devourer of Destiny, so hopefully that's enough by turn Or let's crack this, because I don't know what they're going to name other than Scalding Tarn here. Pithing Needle does not seem great against me. I guess they kept it in as an Urza's Saga target for... I mean, doesn't do anything against Ugin's Labyrinth. Oh, I have milled my Thundering Falls. I didn't even notice. Alright, I'll get a Steam Vents. A little bit unfortunate, but I think I can live with that. They choose... Maybe they had a lot of dead cards? Oh, right, Yggdrasil. Yeah, okay. That makes a ton of sense. I don't know, I missed that one. Not super familiar with the deck, I suppose. First league ever playing with it. I've been thinking overnight about what I want to do with this exact list, too. I have some ideas of just making it more fast with Strike It Rich and Faithless looting. So I'm hoping to play another league with a kind of interesting brewy version of this same deck. But the draws that feel good are the ones where just from this one league, the draws that feel good are the ones where I can go fast and get out a 3-drop. So it might be good to play more Palantir, and maybe no Brain Surge. And yeah, just try and ramp out a Palantir, ramp out some other stuff, and see if we can get stuff done that way. That is a Kozilek's Return, which is mostly just killing a Memnite now. Honestly not great, but I will rattle it off. Maybe I can find a Null Drifter to go along with it, or just an untapped land would be great too. I guess I should have done that then. Well, let's see if they play into it more. I don't think it's worth it to just kill the one Memnite. They probably go ahead and get Mox Opal here. Either that, or maybe there's some other hate piece that's good against me. The other thing I wanted to try with this deck is Faithless Looting, and you can pitch Kozilek's Returns. You can dig through your deck a little faster. It helps set up for your Uggin's Labyrinth draws. Yeah, there's a Thought Monitor, so that's something else to die to this Kozilek's Return. And if I do it now, does that stop them from casting Kappa Cannoneer? It does, so let's do it now. Try and slow them down as much as possible. But yeah, Faithless Looting, if you loot away this, then you can just automatically put it under Yggdrasil. Kind of a nombo with the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. I don't think there's really another good way to do it, but maybe you could just play Archon instead. And I might be thinking of a different deck. Maybe that's a red-black deck. But yeah, there's a lot of directions I want to try with this Through the Breach archetype. Maybe Goryo's, just trying Through the Breach a Grizzlebrand. I don't know how good that even is. Consigning the Kozilek's Return. I don't know about that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was brewing in my head. But, I mean, this game is really, can I find an untapped land? And I cannot, so I will die. Deal. Yeah, they can crack this. This is going to go get another artifact, and that'll give them enough to kill me without playing anything else, so no reason to stay in the game here. Let's go to the next one. I think my sideboarding is fine. Hopefully we don't have to mulligan as low as we did, and we find a Meltdown here. So a little bit of a slow hand, but I do have the Meltdown, which is pretty nice. And can't get rid of my Thundering Falls this time if I draw it in my opening hand. Alright, I will reveal the Devourer. We've been doing good on getting Devourers in the opening hand. Do I want a second Meltdown? No, I just want an Uggin's Labyrinth. Alright. I guess I should have waited on this. Nah, let's just play the tap land. I'm losing out on Surveil value yet again, but oh well. Because now I can turn to Yggdrasil, and that has Indestructible, right? Yeah, okay. Can't melt down their land, unfortunately, for me. Good for them. Maybe they go for... Maybe they have the Pithing Needle, we'll see. Maybe this just kills them on turn 3 again. Very powerful stuff. Going on here. Go for a Memnite. And nothing else. So this could be... I don't know what they could be holding up. I'm going to try and Emrakul them, I suppose. Alright, let's play a Mountain. And put an Emrakul into play. This one. I guess they can consign the trigger and just take 15. But it stays in play. Alright, so that's a nice 4-1. With a pretty cool deck, there's definitely a lot more I want to try with the Through the Breach archetype, because I think it suffers less from losing the One Ring, because you just kill your opponent, than some of the other Eldrazi ramp decks. But yeah, definitely check out some other videos that I'm going to be posting soon, and I'll see you in the next ones.